Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. So this is a workout I did out in the shed. The previous workout on the previous day, I ended up not making a video for because I just did snatches because I just wasn't feeling very great after them. So I had a pretty short workout, but it ended up working out for this one. So when I came out here, I had done some mobility and some stretching, some warming up in the house while my roommate was training. And that was just to make sure that my quad tendons were feeling as good as they could before I started to train. And when I started to train, I felt like I was just moving the bar really quickly, and that's why I was able to push up to that 94 kilo muscle snatch, which is a lifetime PR, I'm pretty sure. Definitely for the no hook, no contact variation, but I don't really max the other versions of it too frequently. Still feeling pretty good. Went on to do some presses, and this is 95 kilos or slightly under it, and that was quite difficult, so naturally decided to take a crack at 100, and that didn't go well. But when I was warming up in the house, I was realizing that doing a lot of like quarter squats and isometric holds are definitely good, and also just stretching my quad quite aggressively is something that's been helping too, because I've always stretched it and just done enough stretching in general to where I'm not immobile, but really trying to hammer my quads and just stretching those and my hip flexors and all of that. I think that helped a ton. I did take some ibuprofen at about 6 o'clock on this day, and I was training at past 7 o'clock at night. You know, how much the ibuprofen helped? Probably some, but definitely the warm-ups are stuff I want to keep in. I'll probably continue to utilize ibuprofen just to help keep that inflammation down while I'm continuing to strengthen that area. But I was really happy with just how everything was feeling. I worked up to this 123 here. I was a little bit out in front, but I caught it decently solidly, especially for the percentage of weight that it was. Theoretically, when I do another competition, that would be what I would like to open at, so then I can push up past my previous competition PR of 125, either 122 or 123, something like that for an opener. After doing the snatches, so you saw I did muscle snatch, power clean plus press, I just did some clean and jerks. This is where I started to get a little bit achy. And there's always a little bit more strain on the quad tendons when you're doing clean and jerks in general, so it makes sense. This 111 felt pretty good. Pretty big jump, but I knew I was starting to get sore, so I kind of wanted to get what I could there. I put the knee wrap on the other leg. I had them on both my shins, not for pain, but for bleeding, because I bumped my shin a couple times, mostly on the right side. That first clean, I really don't know what happened. It just kind of crashed off of me. And this jerk here was weird because obviously I pushed it forward. I wasn't really expecting to do good jerks. I just haven't been doing them a lot. The behind the neck jerk is the most recent one I did, which I did get up to 160, but the in front I haven't done specifically too much, so I wasn't too surprised. But on the second 145, where I almost made, if I had more space I could have walked it out, and on this 150 even here, my calf felt like it was going to cramp a little bit, which is a really weird feeling. My right calf, so it was kind of odd. So I was worried that I would have it up there, so I don't know if that made me push it even more forward, but I do want to add some jerk stuff in this week and just continue to reinforce that position. One of the big benefits of doing behind the neck jerks, at least from what I found, is obviously you can load them up pretty heavy and you basically put the bar in a perfect position without really having to worry about it. But for me, I can really see what my perfect footwork would look like, in the sense that when I did that 160, my front foot went out a lot more, and I was in a lot more of a stable position foot-wise. Obviously, the bar is just going to go straight up in a good spot, but what I was trying to do with that 150, and I think the reason I was able to, figure out how to stabilize it, is I really tried to push my front foot out more, and I think that put the bars just slightly behind me enough to be able to stabilize it to stand there. Still not back far enough to be a good lift, but moving in the right direction, and it's just something to reinforce. But that's the big benefit of doing things and variations of lifts, is that it helps reinforce a position that you're trying to improve at. So for behind the neck jerks, the weight that I use isn't really that important. What's more important is that as I'm extending up and moving my feet, they're going to be moving more efficiently, where I can think about my feet a lot more because I'm not worried about the path of the bar, because the bar is just going to go straight up. So it's a useful movement for that. Plus the loading is really nice because you can stand up there with a super maximal load if you get good enough at them. Same reason I like to do snatch push press, is that you're holding up a very heavy load, so it's just good for that overhead strength, at least in my opinion. But that's it for this training session, a pretty productive one. The next day, so this was on Wednesday, My Thursday is going to be probably not a video, just because I have a lot of school stuff to do. There's conferences and all stuff in the morning, so it's just a ton of stuff. Well, not really a ton of stuff, just a ton of time, I should say, that I'm going to be spending not training. But I'm planning on doing some mobility stuff since I don't have a ton to do during conferences at school, since I do have, mats and a whole gymnasium to use. But if I do any sort of training, it'll probably be pretty minimal. Friday, I'm thinking I'm going pretty heavy, just at least tentatively if I feel all right, since today, when I'm recording this on this Thursday, I'm not going to be doing a ton of stuff, so mostly just trying to recover and hopefully continue to make everything feel better. So some of those isometrics and stuff while I'm hanging about and all that good stuff. But anywho, enough black space at the end of this video. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Have a great one. Peace.